When it comes to the final frontier, we're not Republicans or Democrats. Rather, we are Americans first. And all of us know that for our nation to continue doing incredible things in space, we must rely on and empower NASA's ingenuity and determination.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most critical discussions shaping the future of America's space program. The Senate Commerce Committee has gathered to address NASA's progress, its challenges, and the path forward in what could become the most consequential space legislation since 2017. This isn't just about rockets and astronauts. It's about leadership, security, and America's place in the next great space race.
Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation will come to order. Today we will discuss NASA's progress, its challenges, and the path forward on the first comprehensive NASA authorization bill since 2017. When I was chairman of this committee's space subcommittee, Senator Bill Nelson and I worked together on several pieces of space legislation that were signed into law by both Presidents Obama and President Trump. Continuing that bipartisan tradition, this past March, my colleagues and I together introduced a short-term NASA authorization bill. All of these efforts reveal an important truth, which is this: there exists a strong bipartisan consensus in Congress for backing the critical mission of NASA. When it comes to the final frontier, we're not Republicans or Democrats. Rather, we are Americans first. And all of us know that for our nation to continue doing incredible things in space, we must rely on and empower NASA's ingenuity and determination. NASA has always been one of America's greatest engines of innovation. From Apollo to Artemis, from the space shuttle to the International Space Station, our space program reflects the very best of American leadership. I look forward to continuing that tradition by working and enacting into law a longer-term reauthorization of NASA with my colleagues. This is a pivotal moment for our nation's space program. America must maintain leadership in low Earth orbit, while also embarking on a new era of exploration with Artemis. Make no mistake, we are in a new space race with China. And if we fail, there will be a bad moon on the rise. China has made no secrets of its goals. It is investing heavily in space capabilities, maintaining a permanent presence in low Earth orbit, and working to plant its flag on the moon by 2030. The stakes could not be higher. Space is no longer reserved simply for peaceful exploration. It is today a strategic frontier with direct consequences for national security, economic growth, and technological leadership. If our adversaries achieve dominant space capabilities, it would pose a profound risk to America. This is not just about exploration. The choices we make today will determine whether the United States leads in space or cedes space to an authoritarian regime. That is why continuity in NASA's programs is not simply good practice. It is a matter of national security. Any drastic changes in NASA's architecture at this stage threaten United States leadership in space. Delays or disruptions only serve our competitors' interests. Congress has spoken clearly on this matter. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, which I was proud to champion, we reaffirmed strong support for NASA's exploration programs. At a time when some have sought to prematurely dismantle the International Space Station, despite China's presence in low Earth orbit, Congress provided ample funding to continue the safe operations of the ISS, as well as to provide an on-ramp for follow-on commercial stations. And Congress also provided the funds necessary to sustain a presence on the moon. Artemis 4 will deliver and assemble the first major elements of the Gateway Station in lunar orbit, and Artemis 5 will expand surface exploration using that platform. These missions rely on the Space Launch System and Orion capsule to reach the moon and to reach the Gateway Station. It would be folly to cut short these missions after much of the hardware has already been purchased and in some cases delivered and with no commercial alternative readily available. I look forward to working hand in hand with the administration to ensure that those funds are utilized in full accordance with congressional intent. We have seen overwhelming support for maintaining these programs from senators, Republicans, and Democrats alike. Congress supports NASA's exploration goals, and we do not want sudden or disruptive changes that undermine America's leadership. NASA is more than just a symbol of national pride. It is a strategic capability that advances our economy, security, and values. The milestones ahead: maintaining continuous human presence in low Earth orbit, returning American astronauts to the moon, landing the first female astronaut in history on the surface of the moon. As the father of daughters, that is particularly near and dear to my heart, and preparing for human missions to Mars. These are not just scientific achievements. They are fundamental to America's role in the world's as the world's leading spacefaring nation. America must remain the world's leader in space. With steady leadership and clear direction, I'm confident that we will.
NASA has long been one of the strongest engines of American innovation. From Apollo's first steps on the moon to Artemis preparing to send humans back, our space program represents the very best of American leadership. What's remarkable is the bipartisan support it consistently receives. When it comes to space, lawmakers aren't Republicans or Democrats. They're united as Americans. That unity has been crucial in keeping NASA funded, focused, and pushing forward. The stakes today are higher than ever. China has been pouring massive resources into its space program, building a permanent orbital station and openly aiming to plant its flag on the moon by 2030. This isn't just about exploration anymore. Space has become a strategic frontier tied to national security, economic dominance, and technological leadership. If the United States falters, it risks ceding space to an authoritarian regime. Continuity in NASA's programs is vital. Disruptions or drastic changes don't just slow progress. They hand an advantage to competitors. That's why Congress has reaffirmed its support for critical missions like the International Space Station and Artemis. Artemis 4 is set to deliver the first major components of the Lunar Gateway, while Artemis 5 will expand surface exploration. These missions rely on the Space Launch System and Orion capsule, hardware already built and delivered. Abandoning them now would be a colossal mistake. NASA's work isn't just about space pride. It strengthens national security, fuels economic growth, and drives technological breakthroughs that impact daily life. Future milestones include keeping humans continuously in low Earth orbit, returning astronauts to the moon, landing the first woman on the lunar surface, and preparing for human missions to Mars. These achievements will define America's role as the world's leading spacefaring nation. And before we continue, if you're passionate about the future of space exploration and want to stay informed with in-depth analysis, make sure to click the subscribe button and join our community. This is a pivotal moment. America stands at the edge of a new era in space exploration. With steady leadership, clear direction, and bipartisan commitment, NASA is positioned to not only return to the moon, but also set the stage for humanity's journey to Mars. The question isn't whether America will lead in space. The question is whether we have the will to stay the course. And from what we've seen, the answer is clear. The United States intends to lead, and the world is watching.